Hello everyone! I have a layout for you today using some cut to you cut files. So I have picked out one of these quilt backgrounds that are new this month in August of 2019, and I also grabbed this summer title. I have this photo of my little boy who isn't so little anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working with Echo Park's Teen Spirit collection. So I've picked out 4 patterns, and I'm going to go ahead and alternate them in the triangles. So all of the triangles will have a pattern paper in them. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hand stitch around all of the triangles that I want to use. And I'm not sure what I'm going to back the photo, what paper I'm going to back after that. But once it's all filled in and stitched, then we'll place it on top of another pattern paper. And I haven't picked that pattern yet, and go from there. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do backing the cut file. I'm going to do all the stitching, and then I'll be back and we'll pick a background paper and continue with our layout. I am also going to go ahead and back the inside of the summer as well. Okay, so there are my backed cut files, and I stitched around all of those triangles, and now I'm going to go ahead and pull all the tape off the back. So I used some thin foam tape to give it a little bit of a pop. I decided to go with a white background because I didn't like any of the patterns. The pattern that's in this collection, if you have not had a chance to see them yet, there aren't a lot of, how do I put it, like B-sides that are just a nice background paper. They all have a ton of images and are kind of busy, so I just went with white. I'm going to use this plaid paper as a mat for my photo, and I'm making it a wonky mat so I can kind of tuck stuff in and around it. And I'm also going to put my photo at a bit of an angle for some interest. And there's my summer. I backed it with the red paper, and I'm going to place it. So I'm going to move my photo up a bit so I can place the title so that it ever so slightly overlaps my photo. And then I'm going to go through my embellishments and see what I have. I at first thought I was going to go ahead and pop that summer up on some more foam tape, but in the end I decided not to. I thought just it really didn't need it, and there's so much dimension and texture on the background that it really was just an unnecessary step for my page design. I'm going to go ahead and go through all of these die cut ephemera pieces. I'm going to pull a couple out that I really like. There was this banner that said smile, and because my stitched background is popped up, I felt like it would be so cool if I could staple that smile to the top of the cut file, and that's what I ended up doing, and I really like that a lot. So the point of this layout, I do have some journaling that I want to talk about, so I'm definitely going to be doing some journaling. When we were away on vacation in July, it was really hot. It was like the hottest week in July. I mean, all of July, if you lived on the East Coast, all of July, the East Coast in Pennsylvania, so in the United States, you know that it was really hot. Like, it was crazy hot. There were heat advisories and all kinds of stuff. So that's where we were. We were in a part of the state that the humidity and temperature, it was 113 at some points. Once you accounted for the humidity and, you know, like the feels like temperature. And that was the week we were on vacation. So I just talked about how hot it was and the fact that we did a lot of sitting in the pool, especially in the evenings, because it was so hot during the day. You literally couldn't be outside for longer than a little bit. So I snapped this photo of my youngest son sitting on the edge of the sliding board at the pool, and decided that was what we were going to talk about, was the crazy heat. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to adhere my title, well, this summer part. So this is going to be like the end of my title. And I grabbed some die cuts that say things like too cool and so chill and stuff like that, because just as a juxtaposition to how really hot it was, I'm going to go ahead and use the thickers, these little foam fun thickers, to finish out my title, which is going to be Sizzling Hot Summer. And then I'm just adding a little extra glue to some of the words where things were popping up, because that whole background is popped up. So I had some little bits that were kind of like hanging off the edge, and I wanted to make sure that they were adhered as good as they could be. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work at that banner on the top. And as you can see here, I'm just putting a little bit of glue at the top, and then I'm going to line it up with the end of the cut file and staple it down. So it's really fun, I think, to layer and use cut files from different sets and different collections, mix and match them so that they work for you. I also love that I used a quilt cut file to create a fun, cool geometric background for a summer page. So you can really think outside the box with cut files from Cut to You, and you can make them whatever you want, which I think is just really, really, really cool. I'm going to go through the sticker sheet. So I've gone through all of the die cuts and added the ones that I wanted, and now I'm going to go through the sticker sheet. I'm going to grab this popsicle and the sunglasses, and then I think I just used some stars to kind of blend things around and kind of sprinkle things around. There's a ton of stars on the sticker sheet, which is awesome. And I love that I was able to use this collection. So a lot of the things on this collection, it's not a summer themed collection. It's a boy themed collection. And yeah, I really, really like how this layout turned out. I think it turned out beautiful. I think the stitching was totally worth it. And backing the cut file, I love that I was able to use elements like a stitched quilt and a boy layout, a boy collection, a teen spirit boy collection, but really still give it that summer feel. So here are all of the beautiful close-ups. You can find the cut files that I used on the Cut to You shop, and I will link that below. There's also a blog post if you want a little bit more information on the products that I used. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Bye.